smartphone needs that one feature that allows it to stand out in a crowd. For some, it's in the software, while for others, it's in the hardware. Well, when it comes to the Tecno Camon 18 Premier, it combines both software and hardware to produce something that you would probably never imagine would be possible until now. And in this video, we're going to break down every single detail that there is to know about this smartphone after over 2 months of using it, and why I'm personally impressed with some of its capabilities and also the downsides that you should know. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Don't forget to hit that like button so more people can get to benefit from the analysis and the breakdown of the Tecno Camon 18 Premier when you hit that like button. All right, without further ado, let's get to the video. I've had the Tecno Camon 18 Premier for over a month now, 2 months, and this was one of the devices that ended up impressing me in some instances. When it comes to build quality, which is the first thing we'll talk about, I have to say that it does get a pass from me, both by merely looking at it. When you hold it, it has this squared edges that looks like, you know, the iPhone 12 Pro Max or many recent phones now, which was something that we used to see in design previously. And the Camon 18 Premier feels like like a premium device all around. The back of the phone has this nice gradient that is very appealing to the eye, and the material that is used for this design gives you a good grip, although it's a fingerprint magnet, but it's smooth to the finish. The Camon 18 Premier is, in simple terms, something huge.
I'd expect something huge next week.
It is 6.45 inches long and weighs 200.6 grams. And as you would expect, the phone comes with a 3.5mm headphone jack. You also get a Type-C charger, thankfully, and one speaker at the bottom with 2 mics, one at the top and one at the bottom. The Camon 18 Premier is designed to take dual nano SIM cards and 1 micro SD card slot. And you can see an inscription for the screen side, which is just brilliant. I think every manufacturer should do this. Now let's go over to the basic display specs of the Tecno Camon 18 Premier. Like with most flagships of 2021, this device has a refresh rate of 120 Hz. The 1080p AMOLED display relies on 6.7-inch screen that has a 393 pixel per inch density display. Tecno has also ensured that you get the full display experience with the 550 nits of brightness that this phone has. Now moving on, watching videos on the Tecno Camon 18 Premier's 1080p display is actually very impressive, especially when compared to older devices that Tecno makes, both in display size and the 1080p quality. At this level of quality, you'll be getting a better viewing experience when streaming 4K content on platforms like YouTube and Netflix. And as long as you can, secure the right internet speeds and data balance, of course, you will certainly enjoy high definition videos on the Tecno Camon 18 Premier. No 4K for you though. As for scrolling and screen usage in general, the screen on this phone does not fail either. Day-to-day uses were very decent. Scrolling across the interface of the phone and apps, you can feel the smoothness that comes with the 120 Hz display. Typing is also quite comfortable with this device. However, the haptics on the Tecno devices could still use a little bit of work for it to be fully appreciated. Thanks to the small hole punch selfie camera, you do not have too much on-screen intrusion, and you also have screen real estate to work with when you're typing or watching videos or playing games or whatever. The Camon 18 Premier offers an 87.2% screen to body ratio with very tiny bezels, and that is about all there is to the display. Now in the performance department, this phone runs on the latest MediaTek Helio G96. This chipset is an updated version of what you would find on the Tecno Phantom X and the Camon 17 Pro. The performance on those phones were pretty impressive. You'd be right to expect more from the Tecno Camon 18 Premier. While other performance related features on the phone sort of vibe well with this chipset, Tecno did not really maximize the capabilities of the processor, at least on paper. The MediaTek Helio G96 is designed to have a maximum camera support for 108 megapixels on the back. However, on here, with the Camon 18 Premier, it's a 64 megapixel camera, but we'll get into the camera's details in a bit. For other features though, Tecno ensures that you get the best of the MediaTek Helio G96 chipset. The Tecno Camon 18 Premier is capped at 8 gigs of RAM. It offers you 256 gigs of storage, and the maximum display resolution for the G96 is 2520 by 1080. The Camon 18 Premier runs on resolution of 1080 by 2400, and the Camon 18 Premier also comes with Android 11 on iOS 8.0. With all of these features, this phone definitely does feel satisfying day to day, and it meets some performance needs I had. After putting this phone through a Geekbench test, the Camon 18 Premier scored 512 in the single core and 1772 for the multi-core. These are pretty decent numbers, especially when compared to the scores of devices like Xiaomi's Redmi Note 8 Pro that scored significantly lower. And thanks to the dollar, or no thanks, the price ranges are kind of similar. Now, away from the numbers to real life usage, as usual, I put the phone to the test with Call of Duty, and the Camon 18 Premier handled the gameplay with minimum fuss despite the intense nature of the game. And with all the activity going on, I did not experience any lag at all, when shooting enemies. The Camon 18 Premier does come with its own share of bloatware though. Ads running through the notification section that could make you accidentally click what you don't want to watch, or just get notifications that you do not even have any business with. This part of the iOS system may need a few tweaks, and it also needs a few updates to make the interface a bit more interesting, but still though, you will be getting a lot of notifications from the iOS launcher and its corresponding apps. Another area of the interface that added a little bit of flair is the notification bar. With the new iOS update on the Camon 18 Premier, scrolling from the top down, from the left angle shows you the notifications, while swiping down from the top right shows you the control center. I think it's a good attempt at eliminating the scroll twice to reveal the control center, that we've all gotten used to. However, it may take a little bit, a little while for new users to adapt to this new system. And if you're a quick adapter, this would be fun to use. One thing that would have been great though is if Tecno gave users the option of selecting how they wanted their notifications and control center to work. Another thing I wish this phone had was swiping down on any part of the screen to access the notification and control center. Swiping down on any area, except the top, shows you the iOS search bar instead of the notifications and control center. Considering how long this phone is, it gets a little comfortable when you're trying to reach, the top of the phone. And if you use it with one hand, you might have to use it with two hands. So you can also swipe down from both corners of the bottom of the phone to get to the Google Assistant section of things. Now, for sound quality, you can already guess that the device is decently loud. The speakers on the phone offers a loud and clear feel, but like most smartphone speakers, it does not sound very accurate, especially with the bass. And playing any form of audio straight out of the speakers on this device will give you quite a little bit of a thin sound. Another major disappointment in the speaker department is that this device is built with just one speaker, a mono speaker. I wish Tecno gave us a dual speaker here, but hey, this is what we get. Now, this might not really be a major issue for most people. It might be a minor issue, and since you're not going to be constantly playing music out loud from the speaker of your phone, it doesn't really matter. Mono speaker aside, inserting the headphones that come in the box, the Followcom headphones, gives you a pretty decent audio quality. It might not be on the same level or on par with the higher end headphones that will cost you thousands of naira, but this does a pretty fairly decent job. And as a plus, it is also designed that you can wear it comfortably for hours. And speaking of headphones, Tecno also makes their wireless buds, called the Tecno Buds. We'll be giving away one Tecno Bud to a subscriber, so make sure you like this video already and make sure you're a subscriber to the channel, and comment below why you would want one. Winners will be selected a week from when this video is published. Earlier in the video, I mentioned that this device runs on the G96 processor, and with this phone, gaming was enjoyable. The performance features on this device combines very well to give you a seamless gaming experience overall. And unsurprisingly, my regular Call of Duty sessions again went smoothly on here. The phone does a decent job with handling the graphics for games like Call of Duty and Asphalt 9, both of which require a lot of graphic power, by the way. And for the full experience, while the Camon 18 Premier might not be a graphic beast with these games, I personally had a good time gaming on this device. Although Call of Duty was also relegated to a low quality, it didn't lag at all. Now, with regards to the battery life went from 42% to 28% after about an hour of playing Call of Duty. Now, based on this 14% loss after an hour of gaming, we can say that the phone would offer roughly 6 hours of gaming with full battery, but don't quote me on that, it's not a scientific test. Now, for the numbers on the battery and the charger of this phone, you get a 4750 mAh battery and a 33 watt fast charger, and it's advertised to take this phone from 0 to 64% in 30 minutes. Now, when I ran my own charging speed test with the same 33 watt charger that comes in the box, I was impressed just by how far it charges up. The Camon 18 Premier went from around 15% to 94% in 45 minutes of charging. It then took another 7 minutes to get to 100%. That is around 52 minutes to get an 85% charge on the phone. I consider this a pretty impressive battery performance altogether. As far as how long the battery can last, my daily usage of this phone was pretty fair. I was able to hold its own. Unless you are a heavy user, you should be fine for an entire day on a full charge. And even when the battery gets drained, you do not have to worry about waiting too long to charge it up. Now when it comes to unlocking this phone, you get both the face unlock and the fingerprint reader on the power button, which is clickable, by the way. The face unlock, pretty easy to set up, also pretty fast, and once you set it up, it's very responsive in terms of speed, and in decent lighting it does a good job. As you get into darker conditions, the feature starts to struggle to pick up my face. In pitch darkness, the face unlock feature on the Camon 18 Premier will not be useful to you at all. As far as the fingerprint scanner on the Camon 18 Premier, it's right on the power button, which anyone who uses their phone would definitely tap on the power button multiple times. Still though, this fingerprint scanner is faster than most of the older devices. I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I think every phone manufacturer should have, that has a fingerprint reader should have their fingerprint reader on the power button. It's just easy to access with a thumb, easy. First and foremost, the most noticeable thing about the camera section on the Camon 18 Premier is that it comes with a very big bump. As a result of the size of this bump, the phone is unable to lie flat on a table, hence it will wobble a little when you place it down. I think a phone case in the box might help to reduce the bumping effect, but nonetheless it still remains. Bump aside though, the biggest and most impressive feature on the camera system on the Camon 18 Premier is that it comes with a feature that they call Ultra Steady, which we'll test in a few minutes. In video mode also, the Camon 18 Premier has a feature that allows the camera to blur the background when the subject is relatively close to the camera. For the specifications, we've got a 32 megapixel front facing wide camera. It's got a dual LED flash, it's capable of HDR, and it records at 1080p at 30 frames per second. The back cameras, the triple back camera setup, are cameras that contain a set of 64 megapixel wide, 8 megapixel telephoto, and 12 megapixel ultra wide. That ultra wide is the gimbal camera with optical image stabilization, and the back is also capable of recording at 2K in 30 frames per second. Alright, now for the pictures. When it comes to the front facing camera's photos, the selfie is fair in a very bright environment. You can expect slight desaturation or somewhat of an overexposed image, and this front-facing camera is capable of capturing in portrait mode. You should expect even more exposure levels. You might need to adjust it a bit to take a nice photo again, especially in bright lights or sunlight if it's too bright. The back camera's shot of people might also need quite a fair amount of adjustments to get a shot that prioritizes both foreground and background. This could take time, and most people would simply want the best camera out of their device. This is all thrown out when you go right into portrait mode, and as the background becomes overexposed, this is of course to show more of the foreground or the subject of the image. I noticed some struggle when it comes to focusing on both the foreground and the background, and you get the best HDR quality from the Camon 18 Premier when it focuses well. It might blur sometimes, or it might either prioritize your face or the background, and when it comes to face prioritization, expect an overexposed background, and when it comes to prioritizing the background, you might see a blur face or blur foreground. However, portrait mode can be decent on the Camon 18 Premier. Now when it comes to scenery, it does capture in a sharp and good contrast detail. I did notice the power of HDR in the sky, but it was more on the foreground elements. This camera is also capable of 60x zoom. If you want to see a reenactment of what the 60x camera here can do, watch this video right here, the card up above. It will show you everything that you need to know. The ultra wide is softer when it comes to pictures. Since it's small, but 12 megapixel is not bad at all. The photos are indeed usable. The main camera is higher at 64 megapixels or 16 if you're using the not so high quality mode, and it gets a decent 5x zoom. When it comes to videos, you can pretty much expect similar attributes to its photos regarding overexposure and the contrast. In areas with somewhat constant light, the auto exposure keeps changing very frequently depending on the amount of light that comes in. What the main selling point is though is that steady shot or the ultra steady shot. Now, is it really that good? Well, for comparison's sake, here is a video with the high quality camera without the steady shot. Here is it being used again with the ultra wide camera and the steady ultra steady shot. The difference is really clear, and I think it's a cool selling point. Hey, what's going on guys? So this is the front facing camera video quality of the Tecno Camon 18 Premier. This is the quality in 2K resolution, and as you can see, there's quite a very bright exposure section right here because of the sun. And if I kind of tap on it, my face gets dim, and it just kind of lets in a lot of light because it wants to light your face properly. This is also the camera quality in 1080p resolution. Let me know what you guys think of the video quality as well as the audio quality. Let me know in the comment section below. And lastly, this is the quality in 720p. Let me know if you've noticed any differences or similarities. One feature that you also get is ultra steady on the front facing camera, the same way you get it on the back camera. And lastly, for common features is the video bokeh mode, where the whole background is blurred and it sort of keeps your face in focus while recording you throughout the process. Oh, there's also video beauty. I'm not sure why you would want to use video beauty. It would give you a smooth makeup like face, if you're into that. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Do let me know if you still have any questions or comments about the Tecno Camon 18 Premier, and I'll be sure to answer them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for getting so far into the video, and don't forget, also make sure you leave a comment below for the Tecno Buds. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching again. I'll see you in the very next video.